Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Startup Pitch podcast. It's one of the few non commercial podcasts with the sole objective to make you a better founder. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to sell you anything at the end of this video, not even my free webinar. Promise, promise. Just bear with me because today we're going to cover a very interesting topic. Shall you hire smart people to run your business? That may be a question you ask yourself because you heard it somewhere. You read it in some book that yes, smart people, great people, they make your business flourish. That probably applies to more mature businesses. When you're in a startup, things may be a little bit different. And let's discuss those today. There are many quotes about hiring smart people. Steve Jobs said, it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. It makes sense, right? Isn't it wonderful to work with someone who knows what to do, who tells you what to do, who is so great at the job, is so skilled? Not really work like that in a startup because startup doesn't have many things to offer to that person. So let's see what really happens. But before that, let's agree who is the smart person. From business perspective, it is someone well educated with good thinking ability, emotional intelligence, and of course, execution power. Those people are rare. I really hope you're one of those people. And actually, if you find that person, it's probably more of a co-founder material for you, right? But if you happen to hire a very intelligent person, just ask yourself 3 questions prior to that. Or already if you hired would work as well. First question, why such a smart person wants to work for your shitty little startup? What are their motivations? Because if they are that intelligent, they could already have started their own business or get a great job. No, they come to a shitty little startup and try to convince you how smart they are. I don't say there is something wrong with that, and they could have different motivations to come to you, and it happened to me many times, but you need to be really careful with those cases. So the good motivation for a smart person to work for you is that they want to learn from you. They love the idea. They need the money now, and maybe they're in between jobs. This is, by the way, a really great opportunity for you to grab someone for a couple of months or a year. They could be in the middle of career change and they maybe need to work in your business to upgrade their skills. That works as well. Those are all good motivations. Problem is that people are not always that transparent, and sometimes they can have toxic motivations. Let's call them toxic, let's not call them bad. Maybe they're risk adverse and they fear to start their own thing, but they really want. And they actually naturally come towards you for the wrong reasons. They didn't come for those good reasons we described, but they came because they're just afraid. Ultimately, they may end up being a bit jealous of you. They maybe just want to steal your idea. Or the worst thing actually is that they are very toxic personality and no one can work with them. And it's just it can destroy your team morale. And also they could just struggle to find a job and be a little bit depressed because they are that smart and they can't find a job. And then they end up in your shitty little startup and it's just not going to be good because they don't understand what's a startup. They don't want to be a startup. They came with a sort of a big-headed ambition and maybe they will always look a bit down at you. So it is very important to analyze that. But if a smart person came to your business with toxic motivation, there is a big risk that this person will start hating you for who you are just because they're jealous that you're not afraid to put yourself out there, and they are. Because it's not fair, because they are much smarter. So you really need to protect yourself and your business from those situations. Second question, very important question. Can you actually work with a smart person? Because those people will challenge you. They will unintentionally make you feel really dumb. They're smarter than you. That's the point. They may eventually realize that your startup is not doing as well as you think and manage to plant a doubt in your mind. Remember, smart people are very convincing. They can a bit intimidate you by the way they speak. You may start to have those doubts, and that's something founders should never have. They may explain really well why your idea will never take off because they did some advanced analytics that you will never be able to understand. Make sure before you hire someone smart that you have enough power inside you to look above that and interpret it with your founder's mind. At the end of the day, you are in charge and you need to select whom to listen to. So it's really important. Otherwise, you just listen to all the smart people and not gonna go anywhere. Because smart people, sorry guys, have a lot of doubts. And I don't say that co-founders are not smart people, but sometimes you need to turn this part of your brain off and just go for it, have no doubts. But smart people analyze a lot, doubt a lot. You can find yourself in analysis paralysis, the worst, absolutely worst situation. Third question is, I keep talking about it practically in most of my podcasts, but I just see that people underestimate how important that is. And I want to insist on that every time I get an opportunity. So the question is, can this smart person actually do their job, and do they want to do this job? Because smart people can be charming, they speak well, they sound well, their brain is vivid and curious, and you naturally want to work with those people. Who wouldn't? But do they have a skill to do the job? And do they want to do this job for some period of time? Because yes, in general, smart people can do absolutely anything. But in a startup, we do not have time and money to train them. And in addition to that, they may get bored really quickly. They just want to learn, improve, and they want to evolve all the time. And you will quickly run out of things to offer them. Now, if you're curious how it works for me, I can share a few examples. When I hire someone, I actually do not care if they're smart or dumb. I don't think about that at all. All I care about, can they complete their tasks now? Do they have recent experience? What are the references? Can they show me examples? Because I want them to deliver now. Startups now need to fly off the shelves very quickly. I don't have time. Maybe I have months. I don't have 3, 4, 6 months to train someone. If they can't do the job now, they absolutely use this to me at this moment, and they will just waste my budget. Seriously, even Albert Einstein would be of no use to my startup today, even though I love him. I applied this principle for the last 3 years, by the way, and I must admit that most people I hired are really smart. Yes, I'm very lucky. I'm surrounded by absolutely intelligent people, smart people, but I only found it out in the process. It is also possible, I must admit, that I am absolutely not the smartest person in my own startup, which is ideal. That is actually what you want, because you have other skills and all those guys, they fill the gaps that you have. But it was never the goal. The goal was not to build the smartest room for me. The goal was to find mature, responsible, and skilled individuals to help me run the business. Give up the idea that smart people will make your business flourish, and focus on the ones who will actually deliver the value now. I really hope it was helpful. If you have any thoughts about smart people, please share. Tell me, how did it go for you? And I'll be happy to discuss it. Stay tuned and speak to you next week.